Let there be peace and love. Welcome to Satsang. To desire for freedom, one has to see that the attachment to the personality with the habits and the beliefs gets less and less, to leave space and to make the desire for freedom a priority. So one should not be so concerned with habits which still may present themselves in the personality. One can still be free, having apparently the same habits, even though a few may fade away. So never forget that the goal is not to be a witness or to transform habits or to be a witness of habits. This will not work. This is still in the realm of the mind, of the creation. The desire for freedom is to come to this fact for oneself that in reality his nature has never been born, so is not into time and space. And that gives tremendous peace and joy and love for the whole thing created, because it's created by that itself. That's it, and and I was struck by an observation of someone who said, 20 years following satsang and still not having made progress, or after 20 years, I don't want to spend that much time. But can you remember that if you were a smoker, how much time it takes you to leave your habit? Or if you are a drunkard, or some addiction you have and you want to quit, takes time. Those things takes time. So it is really not concerning your personality, your real nature. It's concerning your personality. And that's a very good news, because then it means you can I want to replace this word realize. You can finally keep quiet where you always are in a split second. Suddenly, it will not be a result of a long transformation and efforts of living things. Even though, paradoxically, it takes time to be clear about it, to be crystal clear about it.
be appraised of the fact instead of realizing.
Appraised?
Be appraised of the fact.
Appraised, you see. Appraised.
To be appraised of the fact.
To be appraised of the fact. Okay, I didn't know the word. Okay, thank you.
Maybe.
Yeah. And it can be applied for what else? Appraised?
It's like realized.
Good,
something becomes
good.
apparent.
Okay. What do you say?
Yeah, I don't use that word so much. So.
No, it is literal. Anyway, that's right. You stay like this. You stay like this. So you have something to say? Something to say. I'm sure you have something to say. I must say myself, living with my master, I had not always something to say. Though there were too much. There was too much, but somehow I could not objectify them so well.
Ganga, can you talk a little bit about that? I'm reading Nothing Ever Happened.
Yeah.
And I've just got to the point where you meet Papaji. And the more I read these things, the more I sort of fall in love with it. So I'd love to hear it from you as well directly. Could you maybe say something on your meeting with Papaji?
Yes. I hope I don't repeat myself, which is in the book. Otherwise you stop me.
Yeah, okay.
Something new has to come. From where I have to start?
Wherever you want.
Ganga, could you start from the beginning? I'm curious, what prompted you to go by yourself to India and just stay there?
Okay.
Sorry, maybe probably you know the story already, but
Okay, it's the story of everybody. And as everybody is very personal, it's very personal also. Okay. So, search. Search starting long ago, but I was in a familial context of art. So I believed, like my mother, that through art you reach something else. Something else. I really wanted already very young, like 5, 6, something else. So I took this path of art. And then when I was a teenager, I read, it was again through my mother, because she had a book of Buddha near her bed, but I read stories of Chan disciples with their Chan masters that I loved very much, Chan and Zen. I loved it very much. And I felt at that time that it was very irrational attraction. And then life of a teenager passes and so on. And I became despaired, because when I started to go to the university, so free from school, where you can do whatever you like, after all, besides the studies, I tried everything which was available, and always it ended up with a huge frustration, unsatisfaction, which was after all linked to the same search. But then it's when I read my examens of philosophy, I read Socrates, where he writes, Gnoti seoton, know thyself. And I asked a question, not at all, because nowadays people speak of know thyself, means therapeutic things, but I took it ontologically, and I had to reply, I don't know who I am. So immediately I caught fire to search a living Socrates or a living Buddha. So I packed and all that maybe you like to know, but that's very anecdotal, but still I had a little bag with one bottle of wine, Antonio, onions and brown bread. Some people say you can survive very long time if you have that in your bag. So I took the road and some dollars given by my boyfriend. He was very kind because I was leaving him. But it paid him. He found his master later on. Very good. Anyway, I am on the road. I go to Greece. And of course, philosopher, where to go. Maybe to monasteries then. But then in Greece, women are seen as women. They cannot enter in montatos and so on. I was very disappointed already. So, okay, let's continue to the Buddha land. Finally, determined, nothing happened to me. I arrive at the Ganga, and after a few months of listening to few yogis and all that, but listening and trusting a few gurus, not many, but let's say like 3 here and there, and reading the books, the scriptures, you don't know if you have to go up to elevate yourself, or deep, or everywhere. So, and everybody says you something with so much confidence that you don't know, because you get experiences once you start to meditate. So I left everything and went to a cave that we visited this time in Rishikesh, and to be by myself, and with the resolution not to listen to anybody till something gets cleared up in me. So that was after a few months, maybe, exactly 6 months, and my visa was over. My money, 1 rupee was left, and I didn't find my master yet, so no question to go back, to stay till I find. And as I am a bit of enjoyer, I felt I will enjoy my last tea, spending 1 rupee in the last chai shop. And I went there to the evening, and to live there without anything. But in India, you can always have once a day a meal, means rice and dal or chapatis, in some ashram. So that's the great thing. That's what I was doing. And at the table, it doesn't exist anymore, that little coffee shop, chai shop. At the table, I was alone with Kabir's book on the table. I loved Kabir at the time. And a big man comes to me and says, do you need some help, my dear child? And I looked at him. It was winter, beginning of December. He had a white towel, a dhoti and a long. No, thank you very much. If you need any help. And he looked at Kabir's book, I remember, he liked very much. And he said, I am at 5 at the bank of the Ganga, and points out like that. I said, thank you very much. So he left, and I left to the cave. I didn't go there because I had my life near the cave and the Ganga. But then the next night, it's not a dream when it is so vivid, this vision of that face comes to me, and then in me comes a voice, who knows, maybe it's him that you search. So I was at 5 at the bank of the Ganga, where he was seated, 5 in the morning, and he laughed, big laughter. And so I sat in front of him and in front of the Ganga. It was a bit like this, the Ganga was flowing here. And he asked me, what do you want? And I had already formed my idea. I said, cosmic consciousness. But if you know more, I want that more, because I knew the mind is limited. And say, what do you do for that? I meditate. Show me. Okay, I close my eyes. I don't know how much time it lasted, not much probably. And when I opened the eyes, I looked at the Ganga, at the sky, at him. It's so simple. It's so simple. So I was living exactly what I wanted to live, experiencing. So I bowed down, recognized him as my master, because it was because of him that I could experience that. But then after my overflowing enthusiasm and love for him, I knew him since long. He says, you go now, you go. I can't go. I search for him, I find you. I can't. No, you go. When you will need me, I will be there. I didn't know anything about that man. So I left to the cave in a complete dualistic mood, which was a bliss, uncontainable bliss, and also, what was it at that time? I was lost not to be with my master. So I decided to leave the cave the next day and I searched what to do to find him back. So the only spot in common was the spot where we met. So I will live there till he comes back. And that's what I did. There was happily a small tree, so some shade. And I waited for him. Probably I was in a, I didn't call it that way at that time, but in a kind of samadhi or something. And so meditated there, waiting, and with experiences that meditation can give. And I was not aware of it, but a story was told afterwards. some Matajis, some women gave me food at 1.5 meters from me, not to disturb me, and I was eating. So I was all was provided so that I don't move. And 7-8 months later, I turned my back, and he came. He was coming. So I ran, prostrated, and from here, I was with him. Oh, in the beginning, for a few weeks, he came only at 4 with food, and he told the Mataji, you know, when he was coming the next day, the Matajis were also coming with food. She said, don't approach this girl, she doesn't like to be disturbed. And then he said, but I am her guru. Oh, and then they prostrated to him, like that in India. And at 4, so I was eating, and then if I had questions, he was replying, otherwise we were walking. And then he was leaving at sunset to his room in the ashram, Parmat ashram. And I was there still for 2-3 weeks, and one morning he woke me up and said, today we walk to Pulchati, to another ashram, a long walk, beautiful walk along the Ganga. And from that day, I was from morning to evening with him. No, you wanted to know that?
Thank you, Ganga.
But it's in the book. But of course, that the meeting with the master changes the life. Other things also changes the life, so it is not a criterion, in fact. I see that. But it changed totally the life, and my luck was that as I trusted from the beginning, I trusted till the end of his life. So I was lucky to have been with him from the very beginning, in fact. And for a long time I found he was like a Chan master. It was my background, but I really found his answers were like that. You know, it was not really explanations, it was to root out your mind. And then the life with him was not, how to say, it was a life, means walking. He was not speaking much, buying the basic, means potatoes and chai, tea. Walking, resting in the nature, taking baths, sitting. We must have been, I must have been in some kind of his magic, you see, because it was totally fulfilling, not doing much from outside. I don't know, like that for a few years. And we had great, for me, fun, and for me also great joy when he was meeting a few seekers here and there, even if they were not really seekers after liberation, but Master was trying to elevate their spirit with a few hippies and sometimes a few ex-monks sent by Swami Abhishektananda, like that.
At that time there were no regular satsangs yet?
No. It is from, no, really not. It is from 91? 90? But not every day. 90. Yeah. They were
End
there not
of 90,
frequent.
the beginning of the
Yeah.
Osho people started.
Yeah, no, anyway, so it's no regular satsang. So happily we had that also period of time, because all what we know from Papaji is the satsang, which we can watch today. Very precious. Sometimes, probably more when Master went to the West, I tried to note down a bit what his fantastic answers, but I gave them to David Gottman, so it must be in the book. So what about you now?
Ganga,
Yeah.
I would like to thank you for everything. Leaving tomorrow.
You leave tomorrow?
Yeah.
But you just arrived.
I was here 7 days, but
Yeah.
somehow I just
Okay.
couldn't get here
Yeah.
only for these 2 satsangs.
Achha.
I'm very, very grateful. Yeah,
You are quick, it is wonderful. You are from Hungary?
from Slovakia.
Slovakia? Ah. They are quick in Slovakia.
Yes. But you helped me so much on Sunday with this witness.
Okay, good.
I feel much more calm. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
It was so big trouble, this witness.
Yeah, but it was. No, it's nice. Don't go back to old stories.
No.
Yeah.
Ganga,
Yeah.
when you said before that sometimes there was something too much, and when you were with Papaji, and you could, there's something with me too, and I don't know what it is.
I will not know till you tell me. One has to get so fed up with that, you see, that it will come out with some expression. No, you don't look happy, that's why. What could be that doesn't make happy?
Mind.
Thoughts, emotions, experiences, expectations, hopes, disappointments, huh? The movements of the mind. Yeah. Not fulfilled, not satisfied. Huh? Yeah? This is called life. You gain there, you lose more there, and then this life. Life is not quiet, it's always lose and gain, loss and gain. And what do you want? A better life. Don't say no
I
so
think
easily.
there is still something.
Yeah, sure, because it's human. I mean, it's human, of course. Who doesn't wish? I want liberation and a better life. I mean, it's no. But that's why we have to root out that we are humans. Maybe we are not human beings even. In our real nature. Our real nature. You see, it is not like in religion or in concept that a human being, I, will know its divine nature or its real nature. No, that will never happen. The real nature will be known when the human, the being, has disappeared as reality. All other pointings out are always based on I am born, I am a person. And from there everything starts to achieve a high goal. No, I didn't hear that from my master. And I'm very happy that he didn't allow me to hear something else than who am I in reality? It's not whatever I think of me, it is not that I am not in reality.
Ganga, thank you. I'm so happy that
But you see, you express something. What's your name?
Regina, you said something about witnessing. I didn't understand.
Witness. So today I don't think I said the word, Gita. But anyway, what about witnessing?
Yeah.
You want to hear something?
Someone mentioned about Sunday satsang that you talked about
yeah,
witnessing.
you. That was not my problem, so I have to make it up now. But you feel that you know what it is to witness?
Yes.
Through some meditation or through what? What do you do to be a witness?
Not very much meditation.
No.
No, just observing.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, good.
Sometimes I can observe,
Yeah.
but sometimes the person, the identity is so strong, there's no space.
Yeah. But don't you think that the observer is also in time? The one who observes and the one who doesn't observe, is it not the same?
No,
Yes, it is the same.
it's the same.
I observe and I don't observe. Try to see that it is the same one, but the dress, the experience is different.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So you don't need to observe or not to observe, because it's useless to try to transform a person.
Mm-hmm.
Your real nature includes the person, includes or creates times and space. So you have to know, who am I in reality?
Mm-hmm.
And for that, don't go into your mind.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
You go into your mind only to live, to react to circumstances. But don't go into your mind to know who you are. Because when you go to your mind, what do you create immediately? The first thing, I. Yeah. So, remain as you are, because you are always yourself, and try to see it when you don't create or don't go into your mind for a moment. Then it becomes clear to you. Okay. How are you?
It's a little hard to speak because I was just thinking about what you said. And also, I guess my basic how do you say this in English? The basic thought of me is like when I try to do something, it doesn't work. And I tried a lot, and obviously it's not working.
Yeah.
Now I'm actually just here by luck, because with my wife.
Yeah.
I just joined.
Yeah, yeah.
And
You see, you didn't try and it works. You didn't try, she brings you
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
works. You are
That's
sitting. Yeah, but that's good because you will come to such a unsatisfaction, such a frustration.
I came, yeah.
Yeah, that you have to search something else and try.
Yes, yeah. And so I get a little insecure when you say you need to have this fire, because then I say, oh, I don't have this fire.
Yeah, you
it's
know,
just not there.
the fire is created by unsatisfaction.
Yeah.
Because what does it mean, fire? You see, it means, okay, I cannot really continue to live this way, or I have a very miserable life, or even I want to finish off, or I find something new, something else. And satsang surely shows some other direction than what is given by the world. You can try it because you have not been successful otherwise.
You said down the last sentence I didn't get. I don't understand.
You can, satsang
Yes.
gives a different direction. And you have tried the directions given by the world. So maybe you can try this one. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
Unless you still have some hope with the world.
Yeah. I did also in this direction a lot. I was in Pune, I was in Lucknow. And,
Really?
yeah, so
And what happened? Why my English today didn't continue the direction? Why? Because you were not successful.
no, it's not. I don't think there's no thought about being successful or not.
Okay, but that's good. Yeah. Okay.
It's actually it's mostly there's no problem. But when I listen to like you or
Oh yeah.
I went a lot to Iceland.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, yeah, a very long time. I'm still. And sometimes the mind creates something. I should be somewhere different. Some more.
No,
Yeah.
the mind will always tell you there is more and there is beyond and there is better.
Yeah.
This is the mind, the talk of the mind.
Absolutely. That's why I say it's so difficult to say something because.
Yeah, but you say a lot. I am very happy to hear you.
Is that,
No, but I am happy to hear this.
Yeah.
And that's why I say, don't think, don't enter into your mind about this subject.
Yeah.
In order to make this a fact, in order to be a praise with the fact of reality. Did you try that?
I'm not sure if I understand.
No,
what you mean. Yeah.
You don't want to understand. It's simple English.
It's just what I understand is just that to be quiet is the easiest way. And I have a very strong mind. It means that when I look at the end of the day, how much silence there was,
Oh,
it was like
it's too much.
nearly nothing. So
Yeah,
I always can start worrying about if it's about a progress or something. And
No. Listen, listen. The keeping quiet you speak about, it's not in time. It's not because you keep quiet in time 10 hours that you will be better than to keep quiet a split second, but not in time. That you have to click to that. Because you see, you may keep quiet in time, then there is progress. Oh, today 3 minutes. Tomorrow will be 3.5, I'm sure, or 4 even. And like that. It's not about that, because there is no end about progress, and you will fail also. It's a full trip, trip of, oh la la, mind. So, if you want to be at peace, and peace brings joy and love and, beautiful qualities and experiences, you have not to confuse yourself for the one who thinks. That's it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Ganga. There's something still I don't get it, like this split second where everything become clear and just you got it, and then you are not catching anything else. But I don't know how to do this, because I have some here or whatever, like some glimpse, but it doesn't last. So it's still the belief.
Tell me, why doesn't last? Tell me.
The belief is there that I am this.
but then you have the answer. It means you have not negated that.
But the glimpses are there.
But then what? Okay. The one who gets glimpses, gets some blessings, gets more fire to really want to stay there and so on. But you have to hear. Once you have a glimpse, could be not a glimpse, you make it a glimpse. Why? Because the next thought which appears, you catch it. Why? Because it is still looking like real. You have not... The self-inquiry has not been yet efficient enough. You see? Any thought which appears has no value here, has no value. And then if you have this lack of curiosity because you know and you trust, you hear, oh, I will not fool myself again, I hear it has no value, I trust totally, you will not look at this and then there will be no glimpse. But now you hear. So, it's about that. Glimpses we can have. Sure. Already it's a progress. It's a wonderful... Happily we have glimpses. You see, it gives this more attraction to realize. But you have to understand why it's a glimpse. First of all, a glimpse, since it happens to someone, you see, you make it happen to someone, then it was not there before. Then already it means it's an experience of someone. But if you see, what you see in the glimpse is, if it is, oh, I don't copy that, but for example, it could be where I was always in my mind before. It's not at all about the mind. I was always myself. And you don't go to the next thought because it has no value. Where is the glimpse? It's a fact then. It's only that, but it's, you know, a thought too much, a thought taken for real, because it's uncompromising. That is the quality of yourself. It veils, it looks like veiling itself the moment you make even one compromise. Means a thought which has not been rooted out as reality, which comes, then it has some value, some curiosity is there. I remember, if you don't mind that I say that, but when this second was there for me, the mind got so inspired that it was a flow of knowledge. A flow of knowledge. The whole Yoga Vashishta was out. But happily, because I failed quite a few times, happily this time I was determined not to look at it. It's nothing. It's nothing. My master said so. I trusted. That was my luck. So you have to hear that. Again and again maybe, but you have to hear it. And in fact, you are always that. So you don't need a split second. You need a split second not to follow your mind. You understand? Yeah, yeah.
And just is a curiosity. Is this,
Yeah.
sometimes it feels that the person is in very strong pain. For example, now I just felt shame because I felt a little stupid. It doesn't matter what. But
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
it's just, so I can see this is a person.
Yeah, sure.
And what is it also you suggest from my experience is the best is to stay with it, with this emotion.
Yeah. But that is not what I indicate.
That's
I
what
know that
I
many
ask you. Yeah,
teachers
yeah.
say
Yeah.
so. I indicate differently.
Yeah.
So you do whatever you like. You see, how many incarnations, how many years, immemorial times, we have been staying with emotions, sometimes running away, sometimes staying with them through attachment, sometimes running away because the concept has been so, or sometimes remaining with it because the concept is so. And there will be results or no results temporarily, because all that happens to somebody who is born, who has a span of life, who will die. All these are experiences in the manifestation. Now in satsang, it's the end of the misery. Not necessarily that the creation, which is I wake up, I am born, I have this life, and so on. Not necessarily that I will suddenly be in heaven, because in this manifestation, if there is heaven, there is hell. It's duality. Otherwise, it would not be seen. It is seen because it's dual. Okay? So, the satsang is to point out to our real nature, which is the same for everything. Our real nature, which is never absent, which is always there, which contains all that. So, for that, you have to quit not the emotion, you have to quit I was the emotion. As a concept, of course. Yeah.
Tiredness, and it's for many years. Every time, I don't know, I have this theme. I just wanted to explore it.
Yeah, sure. You are tired of seeking.
No.
Ah.
The mind falls asleep when the mind takes me to fall asleep.
Okay. You are tired.
Yes.
Physically?
Yes.
Oh,
No, but
I think nowadays it's very normal. You work so much. Okay.
that's what I'm not sure if it's physically or it's like a
Well, ask me the question when you have finished off your things. And then we see. Finish off, take a good rest, and then you speak. Maybe it will not be there. But he can be tired, you sleep. You can sleep in satsang. Also, when you work too much, you are fed up. You're just fed up, maybe. So you want to sleep to forget the whole thing. No mind. It's very easy, no? It's a place you already know where there is no mind. So it's so nice. Let me sleep. Uh,